It's disgusting. And everybody, no matter how you feel on this issue, should reject it completely. What are they doing? They're doing this so that Nancy Mace can make a buck and send a text and fundraise off an email. They're not doing this to protect people. They're endangering women. They're endangering girls of all kinds. And everybody should reject it. It's gross. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. The short clip that I just showed you here was about AOC, okay? The one that used to be called New York's Darling has turned out to be, how can I say, probably one of New York's worst freaking nightmares. Okay, we're going to get into more of this clip. I just want to put some context to all this. If nobody's heard, I believe Nancy Mace, okay, in Washington, was against a decision. I'm not going to say it was a bill or a law. It was more of a decision that fell flat on its face, that the leftists, okay, once again, in their infinite wisdom and their, how can I say, their miscreant ways, okay, wanted to pass a rule, I guess you can say, of letting transgender, just letting men in skirts, okay, use the women's bathrooms in Washington, okay, in Congress, Capitol Hill, whatever you want to call it, any one of the buildings, they wanted that to happen. So Nancy Mace decided to say no, okay, and she fought hard. And basically, other people in Congress had to stand up by her side and say, no, that's not going to happen. Now, there's a couple of things that I want to dissect into this. So I hope a lot of people will watch this video, especially you young girls out there, and you young girls in New York State, because this woman, AOC, is nothing but, in my opinion, a pathetic woman. Okay. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to monetize this video by the time I'm done, because I'm gonna say what I have to say. Okay, plain and simple. Okay, because I am getting sick and tired of this whole transgender movement. Okay, plain and simple. I am getting sick and tired of it. And I got some information to show people. Okay. So all you people out there that want to jump on my channel and leave like whatever comments and come out and call me whatever the hell you want, I really don't care. I really don't care. I'm not the kind of person that you're going to stop in the street and try to get on my case or scream at me or scold at me, and I'm just going to stand there and try to have a conversation with you. You come at me, it's not going to look good for you. Let's just put it that way. Okay, because what I've noticed is that when anybody wants to stand up for women the right way, okay, like strong men, real men, straight men, right away we get attacked. Okay, but nobody is standing up for the women when you have these weak men, okay, or these predatory men that want to invade women's spaces. Nobody wants to get into their faces because, you know what, it's one of their people, okay, and it's insulting, okay, to the transgender community. You know, I for the life of me cannot understand, every time we push forward once, the left has to push back 3 or 4 times. They want to instill, okay, this disgusting display of pathetic, weak men on society who want to invade little girls and women's spaces. Okay? And I, for one, as a man who loves women, who loves the women in my family, my friends, I'm not going to sit here, okay, and be told that I'm a bully because I am not accepting of the transgender community. When the transgender community could point out the faults in their own community, can point out the bad actors in their own community, this is the way it's going to stay. When they start doing that, and they like they start being committed to say, you know what, just like outside of the transgender community, there are people that hurt others. The same has and can still happen in their community. Until they could point that out, we got nothing else to talk about. You are just as guilty. Okay? And AOC, once again, okay, has to take this whole story about what's happening with this bullshit, okay, and spin it around. And what does she do? She uses and victimizes straight women, okay, like the twisted wolf snake woman that she is, just so men in dresses can have their say and their way. Let's watch some more of this video and we'll get to the rest of the content. Here we go. It says AOC slammed Representative Nancy Mace's proposal to penalize those using Capitol restrooms based on biological sex. On Wednesday, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez argued Mace's proposal was not about protection, but about making money off a controversial issue. Right. Like by protecting women, she's going to make money. I get it. She called the resolution gross and warned it could endanger women and girls. See, this is where the spin comes in. And this is why I say that these Democrats, they are so, I'm trying to save it, they are so diabolically evil. Okay? They are so diabolically evil. Because I would like to know this. Okay? And I'm not trying to be derogatory here. I'm not, I'm not that kind of person at all. But I wonder how would AOC feel, okay, if it got to the point where they said, okay, you want to have transgender men in women's bathrooms? How about we start installing, okay, in women's bathrooms, urinals made for men. And then every bathroom that she has to walk into, she'll see 3 or 4 guys lined up, okay, just swinging and pissing all over the place. I wonder how she would feel. I wonder if she's going to say that that's gross and that all women should be warned because it endangers them. It's funny how she's going to come out and say, and you're going to see why she says this is going to endanger them. Okay? Like I said, just totally turning the whole narrative around, okay, to make it their narrative, to make it their agenda. And once again, just like the left, they'll use the American black community, the American Latino community, the Asian community, the gay community, the transgender community. Now she wants to use the straight girls in her argument, saying that if they don't, or if this resolution passes, or being that it has passed, of keeping men in dresses out of women's bathrooms, okay, at the Capitol, that is going to endanger women and girls. She criticized the idea of forcing women to undergo genital inspections to determine if they're transgender. Mace defended her resolution, saying it aims to protect women in vulnerable spaces like restrooms, locker rooms, and sports teams. Mace, a Republican, I think it's Mace or Macy, a Republican introduced a bill this week targeting the use of bathrooms by transgender members of Congress. Macy proposed a bill to block the first only transgender member, Democrat Representative-elect whatever. I'm not even gonna address this man as a woman. McBride from using women's bathrooms. The bill seeks to require all House members and employees to use bathrooms that correspond to their biological sex.
A Republican member of the U.S. House of Representatives has introduced a bill aimed at blocking the chamber's first openly transgender member from using women's bathrooms. Representative Nancy Mace's bill would prohibit House members and employees from using bathrooms, quote, other than those corresponding to their biological sex.
I want to make sure that no men are in women's private spaces.
On social media, Mace called her bill common sense and referred to transgender women as, quote, men in a miniskirt.
Oh, I'm so excited I'm getting your vote.
The move comes weeks after the election to the House of Democrat Sarah McBride, a transgender woman. McBride said the new bill was a blatant attempt by Republicans, quote, to distract from the fact that they have no real solutions to what Americans are facing. Top House Democrat Hakeem Jeffries called the bill bullying.
This is what we're doing. This is the...
Now, I want you guys to remember what to keep this in mind what he said, that this is what they call bullying, okay? Remember that, because I'm going to bring it up later on in the video.
lesson that you've drawn from the election in November. This is your priority, that you want to bully a member of Congress as opposed to welcoming her to join this body so that all of us can work together to get things done and deliver real results for the American people.
Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson declined to say how he would handle the issue at a press conference on Tuesday.
And I'm not going to engage in silly debates about this.
Transgender rights have become a political flashpoint in the U.S. Reuters reported that lawmakers in 37 states introduced at least 142 bills to restrict gender-affirming healthcare for transgender and gender-expansive people in 2023. That's nearly 3 times as many as the previous year.
It says House Speaker Mike Johnson later clarified his stance, appearing to support blocking McBride from accessing women's bathrooms. You know, I know there's a lot of people out there that like Mike Johnson. Me, I honestly, I have many disagreements with this man. Okay, I really do. Okay, and I have that right to do so because, you know, here's a man who is supposed to be, okay, a very powerful man in Washington, okay, after 4 years, okay, or whatever the case is, I should say 8 years, of the way Nancy Pelosi basically touted her power. I'm not saying that Johnson has to, you know, use his power to be abusive, no. But you know what, damn it, stand by your freaking convictions. Okay, because if I was Speaker of the House and once they asked me the first time, do you think I would say, damn the politics, damn anybody's feelings, no, I am against it. Plain and simple. There's no open for discussion, debate, nothing. If it offends anybody, then be offended. That's it. What I find more offensive, okay, is that all these years that women, all these feminists, all these women around the world, around the country, fought to have their own spaces, okay? And now we're going to regress, and not even regress, okay? Because it's not like it happened before. But we made these strides so women and young girls can have their safe spaces so they would not be, okay, in danger. And now we're gonna, it's like society, half of, not even half, a small portion of society, okay, the loudest ones, okay, want to go and take that away from them and put as much lipstick on that pig as they can to say if you don't do it, okay, you're homophobic, you're racist, you're gonna put women and young girls in danger. It's like, really? You know, we have a hard time as it is trying to keep the rapists and the psychos away from women. and now you just want to open up the doors to them all over the United States, all over the world, in Washington, it doesn't matter. Okay? You keep pushing for this agenda. And whether it's one statistic or whether it's 100 statistics, it should not happen. But women get attacked. Young girls get attacked. And they don't fucking care. Okay? As long as they get their way, they don't care. And I get very adamant about this and very pissed off at this issue, because there are women in my life that I love. I have nieces, I have aunts, I have sisters, I have friends. They have female family. This could be any one of them at any given time because of these damn laws by the left and by the weak Republicans and the rhinos. The more they let it pass, the more you're leaving it open, okay, for any one of the females that we love and know to be attacked. Anywhere. Be it a bathroom in a bar, on Capitol Hill, in a school, in a restaurant, any fucking where.
Hello, everybody. I just want to make a statement for all of you here and be very clear. I was asked a question this morning at the leadership gaggle, and I rejected the premise because the answer is so obvious. For anybody who doesn't know my well-established record on this issue, let me be unequivocally clear. A man is a man, and a woman is a woman, and a man cannot become a woman. That said, I also believe, that's what Scripture teaches, what I just said, but I also believe that we treat everybody with dignity. And so we can do and believe all those things at the same time. And I wanted to make that clear for everybody because there's lots of questions. But that's where I stand. I've stood there my whole life, and those are facts.
Yeah, treat everybody with dignity. Listen, if that's the approach he wants to take, I get it. I'm not saying to be abusive towards anybody. Okay? But you have to stand firm and say no is no is no. And that's it. Okay? But right away, okay, now you got the shows on MSNBC that want to spin this all around. Let's get to that video. Here we go. I like the way they start off this title. This freaking wimp of a man over here, okay? They have to title this disgusting. AOC eviscerates Republican representative trans bathroom stunt. You know, let me tell you something, okay? All you men on the left that are for this, you're a bunch of punks. Okay? You're a bunch of cowards. You're not even men. Okay? You're not even men. You're weak. That's what you are. Okay? You're weak.
Talking here, the Democrats are too focused on identity politics while Republicans won by being focused on kitchen table issues. We have this current ongoing example that shows the opposite. So Sarah McBride will be the first out transgender woman ever to serve in Congress. We had her here on this show days after she won. She talked about how she ran and won in Delaware on like kitchen table issues, meat and potato stuff, and has come to Congress to work on those issues. And in response to this, a Republican Congresswoman from South Carolina named Nancy MACE has decided to basically devote herself full-time to bullying, harassing, and abusing her new colleague in her new workplace.
Again, you see they're using that term again, bullying. Hakeem Jeffries used it, now this show's gonna use it.
By obsessing over her body and trying to kick her out of bathrooms. Republican Speaker Mike Johnson is shamefully going along with it. Now, McBride is basically trying to stay out of it, saying, I'm not here to fight about bathrooms, I'm here to fight for the folks in my state and to bring down costs facing families. And I will say, for me, it's been kind of a dilemma to cover this because you really don't want to feed the desperately sad and weird trolls who are so thirsty for attention to make a name for themselves through cruelty. But I thought Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York had the perfect response to the whole thing, and so I'm going to play it for you in full.
I want to be very clear about this. When it comes to who has the right to access a bathroom here, what Nancy Mace and what Speaker Johnson are doing are endangering all women and girls. Because if you ask them, what is your plan on how to enforce this? They won't come up with an answer. And what it inevitably results in are women and girls who are primed for assault because people are going to want to check their private parts in suspecting who is trans and who is cis and who's doing what. And so,
okay, you seen the way she spun this around? She's making it seem like they're going to have some sort of bathroom monitor, okay, standing there checking every woman's private parts to see if they're a real man or a woman. Where in the hell does this woman get off with this, trying to say that this is going to put women and young girls in danger? I think a young girl, okay, knows if she's a real girl and if she should be using the girl's bathroom. Okay? It's the ones that say that they are trans, that want to use it, they are being told, no, you can't use it. But leave it up to AOC. I hope everybody in New York is watching this. Okay? I put out so many videos of people to be warned about certain things, and I just don't get the views that I should. And you know what? And that's fine. This is not about getting views. This is about getting the word out, spreading awareness. You let this woman continue with this in New York, I'm telling you, every dude out there that has a child, that has a little girl, it doesn't even matter, even a little boy, okay? Every woman out there that has a little girl, a little boy, has a child, even yourselves, okay? You let this woman continue, you keep letting this leftist ideology in New York continue, none of yous, okay, will have space to yourself, because there will be perverts out the ass in these spaces. It's not a maybe situation, okay? It's not, well, you know, there is a possibility. No, it is a fact. It will happen. Okay? Because it has already happened. All they're doing is giving the green light. Women like this are giving the green light to perverts, okay, to do what they want. How many times have we heard of little girls being assaulted in school bathrooms by these so-called trans men or trans girls, whatever the hell it is, these gay boys in dresses? How many times have we heard it? More times than none. But do the Democrats care? Do the leftists care? No. What I really find ironic, and I hope that it trickles down, is that you had the Speaker of the House come out and say no. Nancy Mace say no. Okay? And I'm sure a lot of other people said no, so it's not going to pass. The ironic part that I find is that how simple it is in Capitol Hill for them to say no once and it's going to be taken off the table. But yet, all of regular society outside of Washington has been saying no, and it's still freaking pushed in our faces. It's still being pushed on the young girls and the females in America. It's still being pushed into schools, in public places. Why is that? Because if it's not good for the grown-ups in Capitol Hill, it should not be any good for the little kids outside of Capitol Hill.
So the idea that Nancy Mace wants little girls and women to drop trow in front of who? An investigator? Who would that be? In order, because she wants to suspect and point fingers at who she thinks is trans, is disgusting. It is disgusting. And frankly, all it does is allow these Republicans to go around and bully any woman who isn't wearing a skirt.
There we go again, bullying. That's the third time you've heard it. You heard it from Hakeem Jeffries. You heard it from what's-his-face on MSNBC. Now you're hearing it from AOC. And there's a reason why I said to keep that in your head about the term that they're using, bullying. Okay? Keep that in mind.
Because they think she might not look woman enough. People have a right to express themselves, to dress how they want, and to be who they are. And if a woman doesn't look woman enough to a Republican, they want to be able to inspect her genitals to use a bathroom. It's disgusting. And everybody, no matter how you feel on this issue, should reject it completely. What are they doing? They're doing this so that Nancy Mace can make a buck and send a text and fundraise off an email. They're not doing this to protect people. They're endangering women. They're endangering girls of all kinds. And everybody should reject it. It's gross.
No, you're gross. You're gross. Okay? It is not gross. You are gross, AOC. Everything about you is gross. Okay? Let me tell you something. It takes a lot for me to really throw at somebody. Okay? It takes a lot from me to even be halfway pissed off at a female that I normally would a guy. But this woman, along with a couple of other women in Capitol Hill, and I know I'm always talking about don't let anybody bring the ugly out of you. Okay? I'm human. But this woman and a few others, they truly know how to bring the ugly out of people. Okay? For her to come out and keep saying that this is going to hurt women and young girls. First of all, how many young girls are on Capitol Hill? That's number one. Okay? But there they go. Okay? Feeding fear into people. Okay? Let's see the next article I'm going to show you. Let's see about all this fear, okay, and this so-called bullying that they keep talking about, okay, that they feel that, you know what, the right are the ones doing all the bullying because they don't believe that men should be using women's spaces. Here we go. All right, it says here, high school distance runner begs school to remove trans athlete amid safety fears. Okay, Rainbow Mafia is shoved down their throats. I'm going to read the article, then I'm going to play the video. Okay, it says a girls cross-country runner at Martin Luther King High School in Riverside, California, okay, delivered an impassioned plea to her school board on Thursday amid an ongoing controversy over a trans athlete on her team. The 16-year-old high school student, Kylie Morrow, addressed a recent recent lawsuit by her teammates alleging that their Save the Girls Sports T-shirt was likened to a swastika. Okay. So the shirt that they're wearing to basically stand up for girls' rights, to stand up for what they believe in, you have people on the left bullying them, saying that the shirt that they're wearing, okay, is basically like them touting a swastika. That's bullying, isn't it? And not only is it bullying, it's bullying young girls who are standing up for something that the left are always saying that women need to stand up for their rights. Only if it's trans rights and abortion rights, they want women to stand up for their rights. Anything else is no way, no go. You can't do it. You can't be more women than the man who thinks that because he's in the damn dress, he's more woman than you. So who's bullying who? You know, who's more in danger right now? They're being picked on because they believe in something. Young, straight, strong girls believe in something true and dear to them. And they're being told by them wearing that shirt that says Save Girls Sports, okay, is likened to a swastika by school officials. It says the plaintiffs had worn the shirts after a transgender athlete who hadn't consistently attended practices or met key varsity eligibility requirements was placed on the varsity team, displacing one of the girls from her spot, the complaint alleged. Now, I'm not going to read the rest of the article because I want to play the video so you guys can see about all this so-called bullying that AOC says is coming from the right. Check this out.
San Jose State University's women's volleyball team is back in the headlines as more shocking details are revealed about transgender athlete Blair Fleming. Now, the team's co-captain, Brooke Slusser, and several teammates have now filed a lawsuit against the university and the Mountain West Conference, and the suit is alleging that Slusser's safety, dignity, and rights had been endangered by the presence of the trans athlete, and that athlete was also given a scholarship over a biological female player who was left financially and emotionally impacted.
Okay, so you see that? So they took one girl out of a spot, put a freaking dude in there, and not only did they put him in there, okay, he was given a scholarship. Okay, once again, these women are always talking about my body, my choice. If a man comes out and says, I don't believe in abortion, but now a young girl says, you know what, my body, I don't want this man doing anything during the sport that's going to hurt my body. No, you can't say that. You're hateful. You need to be rejected. If you wear that shirt, it's like being a Nazi. It's like wearing a swastika on your clothes. Okay? So once again, what this girl fought for, she got skipped for the scholarship. It was given to a guy because obviously he couldn't make it on a men's volleyball team. And AOC wants to talk about bullying? Oh, it gets better. It gets better, people. Check this out.
But it gets worse. The lawsuit also alleges that one of Slusser's teammates learned about an alleged plan by Fleming to ensure San Jose State would lose an October 3rd match and set up Colorado State player Malaya Jones to spike Slusser in the face during that game.
So you heard that? So not only are they upset, the other team that I assume has the dude on their team, they were told to retaliate and to inflict bodily harm on one of the players on the other team who's against all this during a tournament. Okay? It is illegal in the NFL to go what they there's a term called headhunting. Okay? You're not allowed to zero in on one player, especially when they don't know what's coming at them. You are not allowed to do that. Okay? The NFL is always being scrutinized for that. These are grown ass men. I'm talking monsters, giants among regular guys out in the street. They can handle hits that nobody else in society can handle. Even they're being protected, saying you cannot do that. So because these girls are saying, or this one particular girl, or it doesn't matter, anybody's saying, you know what, we're very uncomfortable with this guy playing on your team. You took out one of the girls on your team to put in a guy to compete against us. You overlooked all the other girls, the ones that have been working hard, to get scholarships and play the sport right and do the right thing. So you go and you give him the scholarship, and not only do you give him the scholarship, you go and basically put out a contract to go and hurt one of the other players. And AOC, Hakeem Jeffries, and that schmuck on MSNBC want to talk about bullying?
Joining me now, Brooke Slusser, co-captain of the San Jose State University women's volleyball team. Brooke, this is a wild, wild story. Now, walk us very quickly through the details of what seems like you're alleging is a setup by the transgender player to injure you?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I didn't find out about this information until after the game had happened. But after finding out that they basically planned to give each other their scouting reports and leave the block down so that the ball could easily be swung at me during a game was astonishing to me to find that information out. It was incredibly insane.
Well, what, just to get back at you, or what they betting on the game? Like, what's the rationale here?
Yeah, they just both were very angry that I had decided to join the lawsuit with Riley Gaines and Icons, and basically decided that they wanted to not block the cross ball, which means the other team would have open court to swing towards me, and giving the other player the opportunity to basically slam the ball as hard as she could at me.
Okay, two things wrong here. Okay, number one, her own teammates, okay, are pathetic for infiltrating something like this to happen. That's number one. Number two, and although I do sympathize with this girl, the one mistake that she's making right now, that she's referring to this dude as she. I've said it one too many times, and I will keep saying it. You're not going to win this argument. You're not going to win this fight if you are against it, but you keep referring to them as they want to be referred to or as. Okay? I don't even address transgender people the way they want me to. And now I don't do it blatantly like, oh, you know what? No, screw you. No. It's like, you know what? I'm not going to play this game. You approach me, you have a beard and makeup, and you want me to call you Sarah? Trust me, I will find every way possible to not address you by that name. Okay? That's just the way I am. Because I'm not going to feed into this damn delusion. Okay? And a lot of people that I know, friends and family, that they are gay or whatever, they know where I stand. I don't insult them or nothing like that. I just say, you know what? You're going to live your life your way. I'm going to live it my way. You're going to ask certain people to address you a certain way. I'm going to address you the way I think I should. From what I see. Okay? And if it means that I'm not going to use your name, that's the way it's going to be. People say, well, that's rude. That's being insultive. No, it's not. It's not. Okay? Insulting is that if you want me to call you Michelle instead of Michael, and I just go in your face and say, hey, Michael, to get under your skin, that's insulting. But if I don't have to use your name in my sentence, you're not going to hear it. Okay? And when people come and they want to have this fight because they're going through something where they're being bullied, like this girl, my advice to her is, you want to win this fight, you want to make your point, stop addressing this dude as she. Okay? Because your argument is about having a guy pretending to be a girl going up against you. If you still have to refer to him as she, you have no argument. Plain and simple. You have no argument. You know, the left has made it where everybody needs to be so scared to speak their mind that if you don't want to engage in their fantasy world, you're going to be vilified. Well, guess what? This is not the UK. Okay? This whole thing about misgendering people, I think it was in Minnesota or Michigan, and that you can get in trouble. My response to that is go kick rocks. And I think that's the way everyone else should do it. You don't have to do it rudely. You don't have to be mean-spirited. But you need to stand your ground 100%. Okay? And like I said, I sympathize with her. Because I think it's wrong what they're putting this girl through. Especially people on her side. Well, I shouldn't say her side, because if they were on her side, they wouldn't be doing this to her. They wouldn't be so upset with one of their teammates. But this is what they have done in the schools, in women's sports, in society, where they vilify people so much, you don't know who to trust. Your best bet is to just stand your ground 100%. And I say that because she's getting it from both sides. The people on her side, well, not all, but some people on her side, and the people on the other side. So she might as well, if you're gonna fight this fight, stand 100% and do not address this dude as she. Because even if you do address him as she, okay, she doesn't care about your health. Okay? She doesn't care about all the hard work that the other females, the real women, put in to try to get a scholarship, and it was given to her. Okay? Because he didn't cut it on a men's team. And because the people on the left, okay, and certain individuals on the right think that it's better for society, once again, like I said, they don't care. So if they don't care, why should anyone care to address them the way they want to be addressed? Let's continue, because there's an article I need to read you.
The Blair leaving the block wide open.
Now, Brooke, I wasn't a volleyball player, but at that level, the level you're playing at, with a biological male or others free to smash it right in your face, I imagine that could injure you.
Yeah, no, this is unheard of. And I just think it took me back because I didn't think people would go to this length to try and injure me personally, physically, because I decided to join something that I'm passionate about.
What's been the reaction, Brooke, among your other teammates to what's happening? I know you never asked for this. You never wanted to be involved in a lawsuit, but this was kind of presented to you, an unwelcome presentation of a biological male playing in your sport. What's their reaction?
There is so much love and support, and again, like, I have so many best friends on my volleyball team. It's just that, again, there's so much pressure put on us to not talk about it and not voice your opinion that so many are just still so terrified to talk. So, behind
But I'll tell you what, girl, I'll be your voice. I'm putting this video out for you so everybody can see. How about that?
the scenes, I do have a lot of love and support from my team. So that's all that I could ask for. And I'm not asking them to stand up and talk because that's what I've decided to do. And I'm doing this for me and for them.
Okay, I'm gonna leave this at that because I want to read the next article, which is really, really short. But there you go with this situation right here. And this is now 2024. Okay? 2024. And people may say, well, you know what? It's getting amped up now. People are using it, you know, for their own personal gains, monetary gains, whatever the case is. The right's using it to instill hate. The left's using it because we care. And it just goes on and on and on. But it mostly, all the vitriol, all the bullshit comes from the left. Okay? All the guilt trips, everything is coming from the left. They don't care who gets hurt. They don't care who gets vilified. Especially when it's a young girl. When they talk so much that if we don't teach the young girls at young, when they're young, to be strong and empowered, it does something to them psychologically. Yeah, no kidding. We know this. That's why girls get uplifted more emotionally than boys do. From the time girls are born, they're considered princess, angel, darling, sweetheart. From the time they're born, man, to the time they die. We know this. A good man, a good parent, it doesn't matter, will always treat a girl the right way. Or at least try to. Because we know they need this, they deserve it. But now you want to have men come, okay, and start degrading them, taking from them, and then you're going to have women be their accomplice to do so? But then you're going to go out there and march and say we are fighting for women's rights only when it comes to abortion, my body, my choice? What about these young girls' bodies and choices? when it comes to let's just use sports. What about the health of their bodies? I mean, who was the other girl playing volleyball? The ball was hit so hard by that transgender kid, okay, that she's out of commission. Okay? The volleyball that hit her dead in the face just knocked her out. Then she banged the back of her head on the ground, and that poor girl is out of commission. She cannot play no more. Done. Okay? You'll have people on the left saying, you know what, we can't have the UFC and kickboxing and regular boxing because it's a brutal sport. It puts people in danger. Then they'll go and complain, we can't have certain kind of hits in the NFL because it puts people in danger, this, and that. But what the hell are you doing here? You're putting men in women's sports. Now the danger's even worse. Okay? And then on top of that, to add more salt to the wound, now supposedly they're going to go and start headhunting on this girl or other girls, trying to injure them during the sport. First of all, that's not sportsmanlike conduct. Second of all, for any of these guys to say that they're girls and they're going to engage in that, that's not ladylike. Pun intended. Okay? But this is where we're at right now in 2024, and they're saying that, oh, this is something that that the right is trying to exacerbate, okay, because of what's going on. They have no real substance. They have nothing to fall on. Listen, it's not about stuff that we need to fall on because we won, okay? But I'm gonna minimize this right here, and I'm gonna bring up this article that came out in 2017, and it says transgender bathroom policies have led to 21 attacks on women. This was in 2017, okay? It's a short article. It says the Conservative Family Research Council has compiled a list of 21 incidents of men assaulting or violating women's privacy in public bathrooms, warning that despite what activists claim, transgender-friendly policies do increase the risk of such crimes. FRC wrote in its issue brief that non-discrimination laws that allow people to go into bathrooms based on their gender identity rather than their birth sex are giving sexual predators the opportunity to exploit the circumstances and commit voyeurism and sexual assault. It is important to note that the concern is not that transgender individuals are more likely to be sexual predators, but rather that sexual predators could exploit such laws by posing as transgendered in order to gain access to women and girls, FRC clarified. So when the left comes out and says that if you don't affirm it, okay, that you're homophobic, but then you come out and say it's not that I have anything against gay people, it's just that if we don't be careful, we are leaving this door open, they'll double down and say, nope, that's not true. You're using one incident. Listen, there shouldn't be one incident. It's bad enough we have to deal with the sexual predators that are straight. Okay? Never mind the ones now that want to dress up as women. And we've heard it too many times. Okay? Back in 2017, way before that, up until this point, we hear it about in prisons, okay? Men saying they're transgender going into women's prisons. Matter of fact, there's one incident where they let in one supposed transgender dude, and all of a sudden 3 female inmates got pregnant. How about that? Okay, you have the incident of the boy that said he was transgender, went and raped a 12-year-old girl. The school and the police hid that fact. They sent him to another school, okay, the school district, and he did it again. Okay? And then when the father of the first girl that got attacked tried to say something during the school board meeting, trying to put everybody on blast and point them out, he got arrested. So not only are you told you can't say nothing, but if your child gets assaulted and you try to say something, you have you have cops that are willing to go and play part of that team and arrest the father of the little girl that got raped. This is insane, people. And when you have people like AOC and Hakeem Jeffries and MSNBC, okay, Kathy Holcomb, Eric Adams, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Joy Reid, The View. When you have them saying that we're fighting for women's rights, my body, my choice, every girl should be able to have an abortion, but then tell you, shut up, let that man go into the girl's bathroom, they wonder why they are losing so much. The presidency, the Senate, the House, all the little elections that are going on, they are losing ground big time. But instead of them saying, you know what, which they're not going to say, instead of them saying, you know what, this is actually wrong, like I said, they're not going to say it, they're going to double, triple, and quadruple down. And you're going to have someone like AOC that's going to stand in front of a camera and belittle a real woman, okay, over a guy in Congress who is pretending to be a woman. And then say that real women and girls are in danger if you don't let men use women's bathrooms. This is insane. I don't know what else to say. It truly is. But anyway, I hope you guys like the video. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. And if you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. So remember, people, stay vigilant. Keep praying. Keep praying for each other. Keep praying for the women and the children. Pray for your enemies. Pray for this country. And pray for Donald Trump. Peace.